Westside. Good morning. Thank you for being here today. If you're visiting Westside for the first time today, I hope you feel welcome here. If you are visiting, I sincerely hope you'll come back again. This is a wonderful, loving, and sincere place to be, and I hope you consider making Westside your religious home. But today's not a typical day in the life of this church, and I will not be delivering a typical reflection. On Thursday, I sent out a message to Westside members and friends saying that my reflection topic had changed from what was in our newsletter and that had been sent out on Monday in our weekly web announcement. The new title was and is Leaving Westside. And from the emails and phone calls I've been receiving, there's little doubt most of you understand what is going on. You see, last Sunday evening, I met with the board of directors of the church to let them know I must resign as minister of Westside Unitarian Universalist Church. I then promptly got on an airplane and left town. Earlier service thought that was funnier. But what I want to do this morning is to tell you why all this is happening and what I believe is going to occur as Westside moves forward. And while my resignation is full of emotion, I'm going to do my best not to be emotional today. I was very unsuccessful earlier. There's plenty of time to deal with our emotions and the feelings that come with a minister's leaving. Some, although I hope not many, will be glad about my resignation. Some others, although I hope not many, will be mad, will be angry with the news that I'm leaving. Others will be sad I'm leaving, and many will have a mixture of these feelings at different times. I will too. I will encounter all of these emotions within myself and from all of you. But these emotions are normal and to be expected because we've had a very good relationship for 8.5 years. And the ending of relationships is difficult. Whether good, bad, or somewhere in between, it is hard when the end comes. Let me first tell you why this is happening and some simple logistical things I believe important to get out of the way. The reason I'm resigning as minister of Westside is not because I have accepted another church call. It's not because I no longer love you. It's not because I'm sick. It's not because I was looking to leave. It is because the truly talented person in my romantic relationship, Gail, has been offered a wonderful employment opportunity in the Chicago area. I want you to know, too, that Gail was not looking for another job. She'd not sent out her resume. She wasn't scanning career boards on the internet. But when you're good at what you do, people talk and connections are made. A company similar to the one she works for now found her, recruited her, and convinced both of us that what they were offering was something that rewarded the many years of hard work Gail has put in. I say this without hesitation. Gail is the hardest working person I know. I would not work like she does. But I believe Gail cannot work any other way, and this new job is a reward for her work ethic. In our private life, I have called her my superstar, and I believe she will continue to shine in this new expanded role which awaits her. A job I believe will give her additional human resources to do the work she does so well. Now, it is possible, it's at least conceivable, that some people might be annoyed with Gail. For taking a job far away, a job that takes away the minister of their church. And while both Gail and I understand that emotion, I do want to point out that I never could have been the minister of Westside without Gail's support. I could not have left the university where I taught, taken a pay cut, and surrendered my benefits package without the support of my spouse and her belief that the possibilities of Westside outweighed the risk. She is the reason I've been able to be the minister here. Now, as for me, I'm unsure of what my professional career holds. There are several UU congregations in the Chicago area. There are several universities there too. But I may do something altogether different. I'm fortunate in that I'll have some time to decide what is next for me. Now, Gail's first day on the job is August 12th, so she will be leaving fairly soon, several days prior to her start date. As for my departure date, it will be about 3 months from now. October 27th will be my last day as Westside's minister. And just so you know, next month I'll be attending a conference that will take me away for a couple of Sundays, which I've already paid for. September will find me here every Sunday. And I'll be taking 2 weeks of vacation, which was already scheduled for October. I'll then return for a final week and the final of my 8 remaining reflections in that amount of time. And then I'll be gone. And while it may sound harsh, when I'll leave, I'll be gone like I was during sabbatical, with no continued contact with Westside. The Code of Ethics of the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association requires ministers to have no further contact with the church or her members after the minister leaves a settled ministry. And while this may seem hurtful or extreme initially, it does make some sense when you take the emotion out of it and you think about it a bit more. Because you see, a minister who stays in contact with a former church could easily undermine the incoming minister's ability to settle into her or his ministry. We'll have more time to talk about this, but I wanted to make you aware of it from the beginning of our ending. I've strongly encouraged the board to work with an accredited interim minister before asking the church to call a new settled minister. The interim minister will help Westside work through the grief that may be present for some after I leave and prepare the church for the arrival of a new minister. The interim minister will ask difficult questions about process. Why we do the things we do the way we do. She will hold up to the light the many, many things you do well as a church. And she will help you let go of things that prevent Westside from being able to be the congregation it can be. She will see the things I did well as minister here, and inevitably she will see those things I did not. She will be able to see things you and I cannot because we are so close. A sort of long-term consultant who will be invested in Westside's well-being. This process will take 1 or 2 years, which may seem like a long time. But let me assure you, the time and work will be worth it. And when the new settled minister of Westside arrives, you will be ready to welcome her in a way you'd not be able to otherwise. This is no time to be in a hurry or to take shortcuts. This is a time to slow down, to reflect, to discern, and to support one another in your church. An interim minister will be a wonderful ally and companion in this process, a process I ask you to embrace and endorse. And in the end, while it is possible it might not seem like it right now, let me assure you that all will be well. All will be well. Even if it doesn't seem like it right now, all will be well. I don't have much faith in the supernatural, but I do have faith in this church. You've done many wonderful things. You have also faced adversity in the past. And look where you are today. A place that neither you nor I could have imagined not too very long ago. Everything is in place for Westside to continue doing well. Yes, it may be rocky from time to time. Yes, the work will be demanding. And yes, it will be different. But all will be well at Westside. And let me tell you why. If you would, take a look at your order of service. And turn to the back page. I want you to look most closely at the names under the section titled Our Board, there at the top. These are the people who are going to help you get where you want to be. And I want to ask a favor of you that some will find uncomfortable and for which others will be playing angry at me, and that I acknowledge is asking a great deal. But I want you to leave them alone. That's right, I want you to leave the board alone. Allow them to do their work, and to be thankful you have such a group of competent people who have volunteered to serve in their current capacity. No one understands the current situation better than your board, and particularly the president, Linda Ice. None of them knew my resignation was coming, and none of them asked to be on the board during a time when the minister has left. But they all understand what is needed. They know more about this situation than anyone else, just as they should. And they will certainly keep you informed every step along the way. So please, let them do their job. When you look at those names, you know all of them want the very best for Westside. And any action they take will be because they believe in their hearts and minds it is in the congregation's best interest. They know all will be well. They know about church dynamics. And they know about individual personalities within this church. So I will say it again, even if it annoys some people. Trust the board. Love the board members. Support the board. And leave them alone. The board members members have the skills and competence necessary for the situation at hand. There are enough individuals on the board to look at a variety of ideas and issues and situations from a variety of perspectives. And as much as you believe yourself to be helping the board with your ideas and input, let me assure you it will not. What the board will find most helpful is that you keep apprised of their ongoing communication, that you attend the meetings they call for your active participation in the process, and more than anything else, that you too understand, or at least convince yourself, that all will be well. I've talked about this for years, but anxiety spread within a church is the biggest detriment to any congregation's well-being. Being calm, even in the face of trying times, is the single most helpful thing one can do, even if it seems hard. A couple of weeks ago, I spoke about change from the pulpit, how it is inevitable. Even then, I didn't know for certain I would be leaving Westside. But I reminded those who were in attendance about the old folk tale of Chicken Little, who told all who would listen the sky was falling because an acorn fell on the chick's head. I know it can be tough to be calm sometimes. I know for some it feels better to get it all out there and let the chips fall where they may, even when the sky is not really falling. But I tell you with all the sincerity I have, that while that may feel good to you personally, it will not help your church. There will be plenty of times during the interim process to talk about fears and concerns within a structured and constructive process. Make use of those times. Avail yourself to those exercises. But please do not buy into the idea that the sky is falling. Trust and support your board with the tasks and trials they have before them, and let them go about their work so it will be as easy as possible for everybody to see that all will be well. All will be well. I can remember dating a young woman I wanted to marry. I was still in college, an undergraduate. I gave her a ring. She accepted. And we were very excited, even though she was about to leave Fort Worth to transfer to another college while I finished my degree at TCU. But I just knew our love was strong enough to survive the geographical distance. I was wrong. She would return the ring, and I would be devastated. And I just knew I would never love again. And if I did, if I happened to find someone new, the love would never be as intense as it was with this one. I would never love like that again. Again, I was wrong. Just a few years later, I really did find the love of my life, and we have shared 21 years of overwhelmingly positive time together. It's not been without challenges, it's not been without some luck, and it's not been without hard work. But I can remember the pain when I thought I had been abandoned by someone I cared for deeply. Of course I could love them, but it didn't seem like it at first. There's a Taoist story I've used here before of an old farmer who had worked his crops for many years. One day his horse ran away, and upon hearing the news, his neighbors came to visit and said, "Such bad luck." "We'll see," the farmer replied. The next morning, the horse returned, bringing with her 3 other wild horses. "How wonderful," the neighbors exclaimed. "We'll see," replied the old man. The following day, his son tried to ride one of the untamed horses, was thrown, and broke his leg. Bless you. The neighbors again came to offer their sympathy for his misfortune. "We'll see," answered the farmer. The day after, military officials came to the village to draft young men into the army. Seeing that the son's leg was broken, they passed him by. The neighbors congratulated the farmer on how well things turned out. "We'll see," said the farmer. In this story, the farmer did not get upset. He knew things just were. He did not engage in the anxious presence of others and spread that anxiety around to his family and friends. The sky was not falling. And the sky is not falling today at Westside. Even though some may try to convince you it is in the upcoming time, I hope you can step back, look the anxious person in the eye and say, "All will be well." If you cannot bring yourself to say that, at the very least, just say, "We'll see." Just like the old farmer did. Because this development, my resignation, is really only as big as the congregation makes it out to be, and honestly, it doesn't have to be that big. Ministers move all the time. Congregations change leadership all the time. Westside is a good place, full of good people who do good things. If you are visiting today, you will find no better place than this place to make your religious home. The church leadership will see the congregation through this transition. There is no need to be anxious. All will be well. Westside will love again. You'll see. As we rise together, embody your spirit and join in singing our closing hymn, number 17, every day or every night and every morning. Let's sing all 3 verses.